assembled here to hear our esteemed speaker. It's going to be a fun day. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Derek Maribon from Ingenics Digital Marketing. Welcome to Lunch and Arbor Marketing. We always start at noon. We always end by 1 o'clock. We always have great food in between, conversation, great speakers, and hopefully you learn something. Is there any first-timers here? First-timers? Okay, welcome. Welcome all you first-timers. We do meet every week. Every week here at Wednesdays at 11:45 we start. And just so you know, for anyone, if you can't make it, you can watch it live at LA2M.org/live. You can watch a Ustream. Roger Rail records it for Ustream. We broadcast live. And then Vince Shimolevsky from BC Web Design records it for podcast. All of our talks are archived at LA2M.org. So you can view the slideshow, you can view the talk, the actual talk, listen to the podcast, whatever you want. See photos, so which is very cool. We have a couple of groups. We have a LinkedIn group. We have a Facebook group. Please join us there. Search for Lunch and Arbor Marketing. You will find us. You can follow us and join us. We have a pretty large community forming. And Stacy is our treasurer. So LA2M is a nonprofit, right? Which means we don't profit from this. This is all volunteer. And we do pass the hat. So we do it kind of old school. It's a suggested $3 donation. You certainly don't have to donate, but you're welcome to. And we support various causes. We did a holiday party supporting the Lana Center. We actually support education in Nepal, which sounds kind of crazy, but we fund some education over there. So we're about to start making some disbursements, and nobody really keeps the money because we're a nonprofit. So that's what the hat is being passed. And okay, so I guess that's it. The format of this meeting is our speaker will talk, and then around 12:40, we're going to do introductions. So you actually can stand up and tell us your name and your company, and real quick what you're looking for. You know, it's like 10 seconds per person. We go through the room of 80 in about 15 minutes, and that's nice. And then you can continue to talk afterwards. But we always finish by 1 o'clock. So our speaker today is Deb from Revlin Consulting, and she's going to talk about Posterous, and I think she helped us really bring a big crowd up, which is great. Deb, I've known Deb for a few years now. She does a lot of cool things, which I'm sure she'll tell you about. So let's give her a warm round of applause and welcome Deb Nystrom.
Buenos tardes. Buenos tardes, buonasera, and good afternoon. My name's Deb Nystrom, and I have a new microphone. I've got to do a little adjustment. So it sounds a little better. Okay, how's that in the back? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me in the back? Yes? Okay. And Roger, over there, can you see me? Yes, all right. So I'm here to talk about Posterous. What am I doing here? I've got all these marketing people in the room. I think one of the things is that I had a beloved boss in the olden days when I first started with training and development consulting. My microphone here. Training and development consulting that said I had marketing in my bones. Okay, now I didn't pursue it as a profession, but it's something that I think is very important, marketing, because what are you going to do with all this wonderful expertise you have up here if nobody knows about it? Well, one of the stories you're going to hear is going to be talking about someone that I met even yesterday, where this person has an opinion, has some wonderful expertise, but how do you get it out there? And you want to go through WordPress or one of these, wonderful blog tools out there, and sometimes it's a little scary. Well, now they're making it a lot easier, just like they're making computers a lot easier. So, I'm going to talk about Posterous, which is a mini blog. It's a mini blog. It's not a micro blog. It's a mini blog. We'll define that. I'd also like to know how many of you are long-time, in your own mind, long-time LA2Mers. How many of you have been here for a while? Okay, so there's a wonderful community in this room that encourage you to network with each other and build collaboration and connectedness. Posterous can help you do that. So can Tumblr, which is another mini blogging tool that I'll mention today. How many University of Michigan folks do we have here? All right, my alma mater and my place that I've been for a few decades. So just retired from U of M. It's a wonderful place. They give me a lot of great experience. And hello to the streaming audience. We are doing some fun tweeting stuff back here on that back screen. So for a while, You can take a look at what people are tweeting. If you get a chance or during the mix and mingle at the end of the session, you can kind of see what people have been tweeting. That netbook back there is mine. I've got some business cards by it. I'm also hoping that we can do some Posterous demos live right here using that netbook. So we'll see. We'll get into in a few slides. All right, so a little bit about this group. Now, I picked this up from, and I'm going to do shameless name dropping because I put that in the description. Shameless name dropping. Charlie Kerr has a wonderful presentation he did a few weeks ago, and not only are we live, but also these video things, they are archived. So you can see the presentation via what Roger's doing with the Ustream. So Charlie Kerr has a great one. He talks about using tools and not getting overly enamored with tools. He says it much better than I could. So he did a great program on Twitter, I believe. That was the focus, and I encourage you to look at it. Now, what I noticed about professionals in the field, which I'm not, is that Scott Monty and Charlie and a bunch of others, they put their kids on, like second or third slide in. Okay, so here are my kids. They're baby adults. That's Ian and Janelle. Ian, cello, cross country. He's a freshman in college. He's probably going to die when he hears me talking about him. That's all right. He and I compete for closet space at home when he's there. He's another fashionista like I am. All right, so that's Ian. And then my eldest is Janelle. She is a senior at Kalamazoo College. She's a writer. That's a picture of her in Ecuador. She and I shared a wonderful trip to Argentina for Christmas break last January. I've already made a movie about it. It's on Posterous. You can find out all about it. She's fluent in Spanish, and both those kids friended me on Facebook. So I can tell you how that happens. But not right now. All right, now starting out with blogging. I went a more traditional way because that was what was available. It was around 2008, and I wrote a very long article by blogging standards. It's about a couple of pages, blogging standards, but I said, okay, I'm just going to dump this article in because I know it's not out there. It's stuff that I put together using some expert material from other people that I've cited carefully, but I have an opinion, and I'm going to put this up there. I'm going to put it on, the first entry of this blog. It was a U.M. blog, no pictures, just text, and it was boring, not fun. And what I also had the assignment to do in my job at the time was to interview people and ask them about blogging and whether or not we should look into this for the job that I was in at the time, which was consulting and a little bit of training development as an internal consultant at the University of Michigan. So I thought, well, this blog isn't going to work. It's not creative, it doesn't draw people in, and they're already telling me these in the early interviews. So I said, okay, let's just move it over and try WordPress, because I had started to follow some people in marketing, and their names, I will mention them a couple times. Lori Lawrence Smith, I met her, and she is local. She is a digital scientist. She has a Posterous blog. You will see an example of it if we have enough time. And I met Ken Burberry, and that's going to be, I'll talk about both of them when I get to that picture that's on this particular slide. The talent management article is now, I dumped it onto my WordPress blog, which I consider the mothership because it's now on a professional website. That's one of the articles that is searched out and visited the most on my traditional website. A lot of people like that particular article, even though it's long, because it's in a WordPress format, it's attractive, you can skim it, there's photos, I made it all pretty, even though it's not, it's longer than traditional blog length, and I find that very interesting. So that was something that just to get some of your good content out there, that's how I started. And I kept learning WordPress, and by the time I finished those 10 or 11 interviews, the people at the end of the time, because I started playing with WordPress, and I have a few techie skills, I found that they started to get very impressed with what I could do on WordPress. I said, great, but it takes a bit of skill to use WordPress effectively. RSS, real simple simplification, how do you import things, how do you arrange things, how do you be artistic, how do you lay out your blog, that kind of stuff. So, lo and behold, it was time for me to leave the big U, but I had invested some serious time in WordPress on my own for my own professional work that I did outside the university. So when it was time, I could go to a webmaster, someone who was very good in developing websites, and say, here, I have this, can we make it professional? He said, sure. And look at all this stuff, and it just transfers right over. But that takes some time to do it. So that's one thing. The other bullet up here is business interpersonal tools and trends, was what I was blogging about as I was doing my WordPress blog. And I also did have some experience in a startup. I did it for about a year. Roger's part of the team. We went through 2 cycles of a startup. We got involved with Spark and David Bloom, and we had a business consultant. We actually had some good fun there, and we still have some content, so that's described there. But the reason I got involved in Twitter and Facebook and a lot of things is that I knew that I needed to build an audience, and I had read that it takes about 6 months to build an audience in these different circles. So I needed to find out about Twitter. I went to a tweet up all by myself out in Novi, met Ken Burberry, and met all these, glitterati, local glitterati that are in social media, and found out a lot from them. So I just started to network and listen and read their blogs and watch what they did. So watch, see, learn, and do. So that's how it started. So these 2 particular tools, Tumblr and Posterous, and I think there's one other one, I don't remember the name offhand, but these 2 in particular I'm going to mention today. They're both wonderful, easy to use mini blogging platforms. They support all types of rich media, so video and audio, and just all kinds of great stuff. You can import and create almost instantly very fast, without a lot of technical skill, a blog for yourself, a mini blog. So it's very nice. There's also something that I particularly like for both of them now. It used to be just Tumblr, and that is a thing called a bookmarklet. So it's a little button that you can put on your web browser. You press it, it grabs the content, off you go. It's so easy to use. It's just great. So I taught myself that one. It wasn't that hard. You can put a full blog entry, a longer one in there, and I do that rarely. My blogging schedule, and this fits me and my clientele because they don't need a lot of. My group is really email focused, the particular client group that I focus on. So I only do really my own blog once a month, and that just works for my audience. You may have a different schedule. So that longer entry I can put right onto a Posterous, no problem, because I go over there, grab it out of the mothership, which is my main website, and I put it right on there. I can also auto-post, and we can tailor that. Can auto-post to Twitter, Flickr, LinkedIn. So if you set up your settings, you want to just grab some content, put a few words in there, off it goes. Some of you are shaking your heads. Missy Kalk over here, who's on my Twitter list, and I'm glad to meet her today. She knows all about it, so here's somebody you can network probably with and find out about that, how that works. It's great for real estate. Okay, so those are a few features. This is the thing that I think is absolutely stunning. This is what got me into Posterous, is that you don't even need to register. You don't even need to come up with a password. All you need to do is send an email and an attachment of any of these sorts of rich media, there's quite a list, to that address there, post@posterous.com. If you're wondering how to say Posterous, remember the address, post@posterous.com, and you will get a blog entry just like that. There it goes. And then you go there, and you see it, and you go, wow, that's great. So that is such a big selling point because of how immediate it is. So that is their front page on Posterous. Now, I'll show you how it works. I've already set up, of course, a bunch of these, and not just one, but several, because I've been having a good time, and I'm learning, right now my learning phase is I'm learning about microsites. So that's something that Derek talked about in one of his recent presentations about microsites, I think about the second half of his presentation, so you can go and listen to Derek's and find out about that. So I did, my custom site is Revlin Consulting, and that's my main one for business. And I attach a file, and I decided I want to talk about cloud computing because I think it's kind of cool, I do cloud computing. Even though I'm not a techie, just want to put something out there that I found. And then there it is. And that's a video, and it goes to a pretty robust site that has some fascinating stuff and a keynote address about cloud computing. Because I missed a presentation they had downtown here, so I went online and found this, and I'm sharing it with my audience. So that's how simple it is. Done. Okay? You can probably do that in about 5 minutes or less once you find the content. Now, you can also do a lot of fun stuff, because I have a Posterous blog that is Deb Nystrom live stream. Live stream means I put personal stuff on there, and I'm finding that people, are interested. When they're working with a consultant, they want to know who you are as a person. And a consultant who's, in the business, and they need to have a lot of good experience and know what they're doing, they need to have their own stuff together. They need to have themselves kind of worked on and done, although that's always a continuing process. So people that hire a consultant, they want to know, well, who is this person? What are they like? And if they can find out about you on a personal site, they find that kind of interesting. They'll go there. They'll find out all about you. So I find that I have clients that regularly visit my personal page at Facebook. I have clients on my personal page at Facebook, as well as clients on my business page on Facebook. So this gives you another alternative, another place for people to go. So I sent out a traditional Christmas letter this year to my usual group, but I put in there that, hey, if you want to see some of the photos where we went and looked at 5 waterfalls in the UP after we dropped our youngest up at college, it's kind of fun, and lo and behold, 151 people went there. Okay, so I don't have that many on my mailing list, so it's kind of fun. And this is on Flickr. You can do all kinds of fun stuff with it. So the email auto post. You can see all the different kinds of things they support. The list is longer than what's up there. And to auto post, suppose I have a picture I took of this group today. I just took it on my iPhone. So I snap a picture of Andy right here in the front row. He's looking very fine today. I take a picture of him and say, one of the participants at the session today. And I want to send that picture to Twitter and to Facebook. But actually, I probably put it in Twitter and Flickr. Maybe I want to have a Flickr account, whatever it is. And it will just send that photo automatically to those 2 places. And then you can go in later and fix it up and do other things, but it'll be there. So that's how easy it is to use. Now, an advantage, I stole one of Derek's tweets because once it's out there on the Twitter stream, it's mine. So it's nice to have this tweet by Derek, and it's that in the future, 49% of people or more may have a smartphone, a phone that can just do all kinds of things. So if you have a phone that can do all kinds of things, everybody in this room could be a blogger. Everybody could do it if you have a smartphone. The more of us that get them, or you can borrow, beg, borrow, find a way to do it. And you can have things like this Haiti. A lot of tweeting was going on when the big Haiti disaster happened, and those photos went out right away. And also we had the plane that went down in was New York right away. People are very interested in seeing. It's scooping the news. So there's all kinds of ways that Posterous can be very nimble and quick. Now, here's an invitation. I'm not done talking yet, but I want to give this to you now. Is if you can do your own private test of this, if you're kind of new, haven't done much blogging, haven't done any blogging, you can start where I started, without all that WordPress stuff, without all the WordPress learning curve, just by grabbing some content. It could be something on, if you have a smartphone here with you today, you can grab a picture off it, or just some kind of content, or just maybe write a few words, or put down a famous quote that you like, whatever it is, and send it to post@posterous.com. No registration, remember. Just send an email to that top address. So that's for people that are new. Now, those of you with a little more technical skill and background and who are familiar with tools like this somewhat, and you want to try it out, some of you may even have a Posterous already. Grab a photo that's kind of interesting on your smartphone, because chances are you have one, and send it to the second address, because that is going to be the group workshop that we're going to have in February's site. Okay, so it's going to be a follow-up session because we only have 20 minutes here. What can we do? But I would like to get a little group that just informally will help each other, because blogging is about community. We have a nice community here. So anybody who wants to form a community just around this tool for a little while to help each other, we'll get together in February. I'll send out a doodle, which is an online scheduling, which is very easy. We'll try to pick a date that works for just about everybody if we can. And we'll get together and have a little workshop, and we'll do it at the Work and Tile Exchange, which Erica will tell us about when we do introductions, because that's where I am a member. Okay, so that's a couple things you can try. And when we do introductions around the room, you might have a little more time. You're not listening to me or looking at my slides to try this out. So post at posterous.com. That's the key thing to remember. It's best to try it and learn, because that's what I did. Oh, here's the example. This is the group blog. I set it up. I grabbed Carter. Where's Carter? Carter's right in front. I grabbed some of Carter's, with his permission, because they were copyrighted. I grabbed some of his photos. There's Derek, right? And I think these are from October. And I grabbed a few of those just to show an example of how we can do posters at work in Ann Arbor and how we can put a group blog together. I have never put a group blog together, never done it. This is a collaborative blog where different people can post, so I'd like to test it, and we're going to try it out. It's meant to be a group type of activity. All right, so that'll be fun. It'll be February, probably middle to late February. I also mentioned in the description that I was going to talk about branding a little bit, because that's what blogs are really helpful doing, I believe. What about branding? Now, I'm not a marketing expert again. I would leave that to the pros about what personal branding really is, but I can tell you about my story, my experience. And so you can notice these brands right away. There's stuff going on. I have a picture of Coco up there on my Deb Nystrom live stream. So I'm for Coco. And we've got Oprah, and of course, those of us who have enough years and like Westerns know the guy on the left there. But these are all brands, personal brands. I like these questions. Take a look at those. So how do you design what your strategy is? Yes?
Once you post the things, where do you see them?
On the web. You'll get an email,
Oh,
and it'll tell you.
oh, I see.
Yep. Yeah, it should work that way. Because I know I posted, it's like, where'd it go? And then sure enough, you get an email, you get a link, off you go. Okay? All right, so I'm going to give you 3 fundamentals. I've sort of taken these pieces from different experts out there and put together my own version. The number one piece of it, and I felt this because that's why I've spent time learning WordPress, is I felt that I really needed to blog. Because I'm a consultant, I have a lot of stuff. People hire me for my expertise. People hire a lot of you for your expertise. If you have expertise, that means you have an opinion. If you have an opinion, how are you going to share it? No, a blog is a perfect vehicle. So I'm going to tell you a story from yesterday, and I let this person know I was going to talk about him. Her name is Kathy Powell. She is a massage therapist. She was working on a few kinks in my shoulder yesterday. And we were talking, and she's brand new to me. I was first experience, just known her a few months. And we're talking away, and I said, yeah, I'm doing a presentation tomorrow, and I've just got a little bit of, get that up. And we were talking, and I was listening to her describe her vacation that she's going on with her sisters. And she mentioned that some massage therapists go to schools that don't teach them how to stay healthy in their body when they're doing all of this, because it's a very physical job. And so, some of their bodies break down and they stop being massage therapists because they're in pain. And she said, well, they're not going to the right schools, because you go to the right schools, they teach you how to, do this properly, because, it takes some energy. I said, oh, this woman has an opinion about something. So, of course, I thought, well, have you ever blogged about that? Oh, I can't do a blog. I said, well, can you do an email? Oh, says, oh, sure. Now, here's the moment of truth. Like, all right, I'm not showing her any slides. She doesn't know me that well. Will she get interested? So I said, yeah, I can do an email. She says, well, if you can do an email, you can do a blog. She said, really? Well, then it was just like this. Okay, so she probably is going to be at the workshop in February. She is very interested, because I didn't say that you had to learn all this programming, all this technical stuff, figure out how to integrate stuff, and look at HTML, none of that. You can just do it. All right, so a blog is a way to get your expertise out there. Now, second one. If you get your expertise out there, it's going to start to form your brand, because your brand is about the type of expertise that you have. What's unique about you? So I recommend you have your own website. Now, I met someone here a while back when I was networking. I said, do you have a website? Because, we're exchanging. He said, no, I don't have a website. Well, do you have a LinkedIn? I said, well, yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. He says, well, then you have a website. I mean, LinkedIn is where I started. LinkedIn is a website. I use that. Now, my first official website that I was willing to tell people about was on Google. It was a Google site builder, and I played with it, but, it was hard. WordPress is a lot better. But I call LinkedIn as a website, so start there. At least that's one place you can go. Put your brand on there. My particular LinkedIn page has all kinds of brand-specific stuff. It's got my blog, it's got my SlideShare, it's got all kinds of things. So you can start there. But whatever you do, build a website that builds your credibility. This is my WordPress that now has a professional designer behind it, a person that knows how to do websites. And use it to share your expertise. I have a page that's all about tools, so they can see the kind of tools that I use. And I just use that because it makes it easy when I talk to clients saying, well, I have that particular tool that I'm talking to you about on my tools page. It's right there. They can scroll down, they can find it, pull it, download it, easy. Okay, there's a particular model I use all the time. It is there. So if they want to read a longer article about this model, if I talk to them about it, it's there. It just makes it easy. And you're building connection every time you do that. And this last one I learned from Jazzercise. All right, Jazzercise is one of the most successful franchises ever. I mean, it's like in the top 5 in the nation. How do they do it? Well, this is their formula: connection, conversion, and retention. So how do you make connection? Well, blogs help. A good website helps. Giving people some good value helps. So those are all good things, and a website is a part of that formula. Okay. Third one, use social media to your advantage. I actually tried this out on a massage therapist. It's like, okay, I have 3 fundamentals. What are they? Okay, it's the blog, it's the websites. And then I said this to her, and she said, yes. And she's not into Twitter and all that stuff yet, but it made absolute sense to her. So use social media to your advantage for relationship building, finding people of like mind, or finding people that are interested in the type of blog that you have that are within your client group. And blogging is kind of big. You can have a lot of people that visit your blogs and drive your numbers way up there, but they may not really be your core client. They're just kind of curious and surfing. But if you have a smaller group that within that bigger group that finds you, and they go to the main website, my website is Revlin Consulting. I'm finding that my bounce rate, which I didn't know what that was 6 or 8 months ago. I didn't know what a bounce rate is from a dodgeball. But so you go to the website and you see that people are going there and they're reading, they're looking, they're going to bunches of pages, that you know something is working with your strategy. And so when you use a tool, you want to have a strategy in front of it, and then use the tool to help you with that strategy. So relationship building, integrate social media and your website. Consider mini blogs useful as microsites. Look at Derek's presentation to find out a little bit more about that. So my brand new foray is education, because I'm a higher ed specialist, and I now have some new partnerships that I've made with some respected consultants in town, and I'm very excited about it, because higher ed is one of my specialties, and I have a lot of experience. So I'm really going to focus on that microsite. All right, here's an example of a combination. If you go to my Facebook business page, you will see my logo, which is my brand these days, and the particular way that I have, what news things that I think that group might be interested in. And so, there's Revlin Consulting. All those links are Posterous. I can't even say it right myself. All those links are Posterous links, because it's so easy to put a quick post together. So when I have something, I can link it right to Facebook, and there it goes, and then that fan group can come and see that I'm talking about what's up here. We have the Haiti, the executive vice president for academic affairs is going to another job, which is a big shakeup at the top at U of M. And that's significant to me because I have a number of clients at U of M. And there's a trend. I like to watch trends, so there's a trend watch here. I'm always posting trends, so I always try to get some of those in every month. All right, so, I don't want to forget this quote. This is very important because it goes with the next slide. Is Facebook, you should have a Facebook page, because it's free. And, it takes a little bit of doing to learn Facebook. There's a lot to it, but it's been worth it for me. Okay? Facebook is good, all right? And it integrates very nice with Posterous. So, that's the quote from Mashable.com, which I highly recommend. It's a great place to do some research. And then Ken Burberry, who works for Ernst & Young now, very bright guy, very bright. So he posted this link on his Posterous a few days ago. And this is the monthly page views per visitor for social network sites. And look at Facebook. Look how high that is. 661. Now, if you can integrate Posterous, that's very tuned to what you think your audience is interested in, and you're listening to them regularly to hear what their needs are, and you put that on Facebook, you put the two together, and you link it to your personal website, LinkedIn, or a custom-built one, sometimes some magic happens. So that's kind of cool. All right. So, a couple other things. This is my list of sites. So I have, the top two are the ones I started with. I started Revlin Consulting back in July, and I started Deb Nystrom Livestream, my personal one, and I was just dabbling. You know, I didn't know what I was doing when I started. I just want to have some fun stuff on there, and that was just for me, but things I was willing to share with the world. So I started with Deb Nystrom. I found it so useful that I set up a private site called Interns with Revlin Consults, because I have a couple interns and I wanted a site where they could do a journal, and it's locked, it's private. So that's another option. It's kind of cool, it's a nice tool. I am doing some stuff for a targeted group where they're sending money to this church in Argentina, and so they have a way to look at photos and blogs and all kinds of cool links with each other so I can bridge two continents. And there's my Christmas letter, Nice from Christmas. Now that's not the actual letter, it's just all this extra stuff that they get to see, including the little tango video. They want to go there. And then Posterous at Work in Ann Arbor is the group workshop site. You know, so those of you who may try it out by sending something to that site because you have a little bit of tech savvy, that'll be fun to see how much gets on there by the time we have our meeting in February. And then my new microsite is Revlin Education. Okay, and it has a higher ed focus, but it's not limited to higher ed because I'm also a systems consultant. Higher ed is not always just about higher ed. It's other things that are related too. Okay, now some other numbers so you can see what I did. Okay, now this is my personal story. I'm not after a bunch of subscribers, but it's nice if I get a few. So here's my first dabbling with Revlin Consulting. And I'm now about at 5,000. You know, this was taken a few days ago, but I'm about 5,000 views. And I started with that first article, Twitter as a leadership tool, back in July. And I had a guest post by Scott. Scott, are you here? I don't know if Scott's here. Well, hi to Scott. Scott did a guest post for me in December, and it just zoomed up to 1,000 views. And those people were really interested in that topic. So I have a couple posts where it just zoomed. Drucker and the 7 Deadly Sins was another one. So I can find out what people like by using Posterous, because some particular topics attract and others don't, and it allows me to do some nice research for the group that's following me. So that's kind of fun. What's even more interesting, though, is how many people come to this personal site. This one is now at about 5,000. Okay, again, this was a few days ago, but it's close to 5,000. And, you know, I'm writing about things that I think are cool, like, you know, the Android, and I put that little video of the tango on there. And, you know, these have a few more hundred hits on them since then. Welcoming the new decade, you know, some photo essay, because I like photography. So just kind of interesting that the two together both have about 5,000. This was started a couple months later. They both have about 5,000 hits. Now, are those my clients? No, but there's a small group in there where they are my clients. Only a small group. And if they go over to Revlin, and I only need a handful every year because my clients usually tend to work with me for a while, not just, you know, one time. That works for me. You know, that funds that private school education for a little bit longer. All right, and here's my current bounce rate on my Revlin site. I know by going in and digging into the numbers that I have people in there that are reading more than 2 minutes. They're going in there for 6 minutes, 10 minutes. That's the average of my particular site. And look at those new visits. You know, so I think that's kind of cool. So my posters points to what I call the mothership, and that's really what one of the best things is about it. It's like if they kind of like this, and they're interested in me, and they know that I do consulting because that's in the title, Revlin Consulting. Then they may go and look and say, oh, and she lives in Arbor, and I have business over here. It's like, well, maybe I should talk to her. So, and that just goes. All right, so real quick about Tumblr and Posterous. is that these are some of the differences. I'm going to let you read through these on your own, but the screen is cutting this off a little bit, so we will, on the slide share, you'll see the full version. But what Tumblr is that they're really great with themes, so you can be very artistic with Tumblr. Posterous, that's not their main thing right now, although you can do some customization. For Posterous, it's how easily you can email, and the social media integration is pretty cool. So they both have their ups and downs. There's a full-length article on Mashable that compares the two. I just encourage you to read it. You know, these are some of the highlights. Folks to watch. I said I would mention some names. Here's Ken Burberry's live stream. His stuff is great. I just love reading his posts. So a lot of good stuff there. Lori Lawrence Smith is in town. She is the digital scientist that I talk about, so this is some of her material. I never even knew about the stick reader. That's kind of fun because I'm going to be in the market for a reader eventually soon, and here's a brand new thing. So just people that are fun to watch. And then in a few weeks, I think there's a Guy Kawasaki thing, if I'm saying his name right. And I followed him for a while. He's a venture capitalist guy, and he does this blog of blogs called All Top. Well, he's got quite the integration on his Posterous. He is also a backer. I think he's invested in Posterous. So he's fun to watch. You know, well, he does it and how he tweaks it. So he's like a power user. And then one on the right here called Reflections of Minutes by Clementine. It is just pure fun. Just beautiful photography. She's just got an eye for it. I love reading this stuff. So, and sometimes I steal her stuff, and maybe one day she'll steal some of mine. We'll see. All right, so it's fun. So here's my acronym. I'm going to wrap things up with just a few things. So in doing a blog, no need to fear if you've got expertise to share. Just polish up your writing skills, learn from other people, look at how they write, and look to find a tool that fits you. So look at your own personality and your client interest and see what kind of tool really fits you. And I found that Posterous was a fantastic fit for me, for what I like to do. It's also a place where using these different tools you can experiment, do your research, as well as getting some value out there. Allow for a few mistakes. You know, there's going to be mistakes along the way. Since I went so fast into multiple blogs, I spammed my Twitter community, sorry, because of these auto posts. It's like, yeah, sometimes that auto post is not a good thing, you know, for someone like me. So allow for a few mistakes. Relate to your niche community. Make sure whatever tool you use, it works for your group, or you know that in a way that all the tools relate to each other, it's going to work for your niche community. Notice what others are doing and copy. You know, the idea of blogging is to learn from each other. Don't be obvious. Try to be unique and have something of value, so it's value, not a bunch of noise. And time is, social media can really use up a lot of time. So pace yourself. Find out a method that works for you. David gave me some great advice about, you know, the monthly, once a month. That's if you develop something consistent that your group learns, and that's how often you post. That is a wonderful thing. So pace yourself. And there was one of these I would recommend. It's the fit. Make sure you've got a good fit with your tool. That your tool works for you. Okay. And so this is personality based. Oh, I thought I fixed this. Let me just tell you what it is. This is a tombstone. It's about personal brand wisdom, and it's something I believe in because I work with a lot of assessments. When I work with clients, we do a lot of assessments to give them data. Above all, you want to be what you is, because if you is what you ain't, then you ain't what you is. You want to make sure your brand conveys that. Okay? That's it.
Probably have time for one or two questions. Sure.
Once you post the Posterous page, can people respond to it? Can they write on it and say,
Depending on your settings, because I'm not sure how it's set when you're just doing the first one. But if your settings are made for it to be open, yes, people can go in there and comment, or you can lock that out. So there's a lot of ways you can customize it. Yep.
Thanks so much. I work in digital media relations, so a lot of what we do is encouraging bloggers to post about our clients. My question about this is, as we start to see more and more bloggers using it as a microblogging tool, are there any ways that you know of in terms of measuring it, besides asking the bloggers, hey, how many views have you had? I mean, is it indexed by Google? Will it be indexed in terms of can we say how many viewers or visitors any of these sites gets, or is that something on the horizon?
Well, that might be outside my expertise. Derek might know that better, but what I can tell you is that I've used Google Analytics, and I'm a newbie to this, but I've used Google Analytics to track this, and I have answered the question for myself of how do I use the page views on Posterous versus Google Analytics, so we can talk about that afterwards. Yeah.
And I think it is visible, right? They all show up in Google Streams, so it's pretty visible. One more question? Last question, here we go. Monty.
So let's say I send an email using the address you use.
Yes.
So I go to Posterous, how do I know where my stuff is if thousands of people are using it? Will I get a return email saying, it'll notice the email address it came from and say, okay, now you've got an account, this is where you go?
I don't think they even call it an account until you really fill all the stuff in if you want to keep going with it. I think the way they set it up is just to get you interested, and you do have a web post up there on a website. That is your website. You've got one listed, and you will get I'm pretty sure you get a notice in your email. That's how it works with a link. And so if you want to do more with it, which you probably will because you want to tune the settings and the privacy and all of that, then you put an account together. So my accounts are all on a password, and I get through them with the password.
All right, let's give Deb a big round of applause. We learned a lot, and she's going to have a follow-up group, which will be very cool. So now we have approximately 18 minutes, and I don't know how many people in this room, a lot. So if you could please just stand up, give us your name, your company, and in 2 words or less how we can help you. And we'll pass the mic, and we'll go around the room quickly. Here you go.
I am Richard Dorr from Johnson Controls, and I'm interested in learning more about social networking.
I'm Erica Myers. I'm here representing Mercantile Exchange, where Deb will host the follow-up to this seminar next week, or next month, excuse me. And I am a freelance marketer, communication.
Missy Hawk with Keller Williams Realty, blogger and speaker on blogging in the Ann Arbor area.
My name is Dale Long. I've got 25 years of experience in marketing, communications, and sales, and I am looking for a new position. So if anybody out there knows of anything, please let me know.
Hi, my name is Andy Ross, and I specialize in the Adobe Flash platform for websites and presentations and things like that. So if you have any needs for Adobe Flash work, I'd be happy to help you out.
Susan Harris, technical writer, mainly focusing on science and network engineering.
Hi, my name is Susan Hunstuber. My company name is Strategize Organize, LLC. I'm a professional organizer, and I work with people with things and space.
Hi, my name is Ellie Ganellen. I do marketing for the Carytown Concert House, as well as for a holistic health startup called Saga, based here in Ann Arbor.
Hi there, I'm Cynthia Richardson with People Focus, and People Focus provides human resources consulting services to small and emerging businesses, and I'd love to help some business owners.
Good afternoon, JT Peterson, business leader in software and software as a service arenas. We'll be happy to work with you in a new opportunity.
Dean DeAngelis, independent consultant specializing in continuous improvement and process development.
Sherry Marcy, your ambassador from GLEQ and ACE10. Annual Collaboration of Entrepreneurship is tomorrow at Skyline High School, so it gives you a chance to see the high school too.
Time?
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
Oh, 4 to 9.
My name is Laporta, Media 3 LLC. We have a number of online products.
Hi, I'm Owen Cartha. I'm a software developer and consultant, and focusing on databases and iPhone apps lately. And I'm also a mercantile manager. So.
Mike Wynn with Sandler Training. We work with small businesses, entrepreneurs who are frustrated with their sales results and want to turn things around.
Hi, my wife Maureen is an excellent sales rep looking for a position.
and I'm a creativity consultant. I'll show you how to come up with endless ideas for every one of your projects.
Hi, I'm Stacy with Arbor Printing. We're a local digital print company here in Ann Arbor. I've been there 23 years. If you need help with any printing.
Hi, I'm Tom Crawford. I run a business called Viz Network, and we help you communicate better using the visual arts.
Hi, Pete Marsack, Vision Computer Solutions. We do fixed cost IT services for business clients on a 24/7 basis.
Hi, Casey Freshour with Clarity Quest, internet marketing firm located right across the street.
Sam Fine, intermediate, PR-driven marketing.
Abe Kadushin, local architect with Kadushin Associates, Architects and Planners.
Milan Savanovic, Dean Productions, and I'm always looking for web developers who want to work do projects, work on for a piece of the action. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Brian Hogue from Hoover Street Auto. I'm here to improve my marketing, and don't all of you attack me at the end of the meeting.
Hi, I'm Maura Brandon with the Get Downtown program. Hi, I'm Diane Sheldon-Koo. I'm with ProQuest in their sales organization, and I'm certified as a social media marketing expert, and I'm trying to integrate the two.
I'm Russ Lessing with SBS Workflow. I work with mid-sized companies to help them drive profitability through better process.
Hi, I'm Sean Sagan with the University of Michigan Human Resources Department. I'm big into live streaming and social media. I'm a member of the Tech and Trends team at the university, so I'm looking forward to coming to one of these luncheons to see what's being offered. I'm also big into the Posterous. It's a good way to share. Believe it or not, there's people that are not on Facebook still, so it's a good way for me to send to my grandma, my grandpa, friends and families that live stream and not get them involved with Facebook. So I've seen advantages to that. Sharing legal music is a good way to do that, connect to Facebook. So yeah, it's a very good micro-blogging tool. So I was glad to see the presentation today, Deb.
Yay, Sean!
Hi, I'm Rachel Schreiber with ABEX Small Business Review. I'm the managing editor. If you have a small business and you'd like to advertise to the entire community of Ann Arbor, this is a great way to do it. We print 9,000 copies, distribute to over 500 locations around Ann Arbor. Please come and see me. I'd love to interview you.
Hi, I'm Vince Shimolevsky with VC Web Design. Nice job, Deb. If you guys want a WordPress home, we can set you up for as little as $60 a year, so I'm seeing you if you're interested.
Hi, I'm Julie Sanders. I'm a hairstylist at the salon in the city, and I've been here for 17 years. I'm just looking for new ways to market myself and better myself in business. If you guys need anything done from here, come see me.
I'm Doug Wood. I am creative director at Woodman Design, and we do all kinds of brand and marketing, especially in finding your niche.
Hi, I'm Jay Bardelis. I practice the art of wordsmithery. I'm a writer, editor, and especially a proofreader. I can help with anything from resumes to length manuscripts to presentations. I noticed that we had a few typos. I can help you out with that.
Ouch. I'm Martin Fowler. I do freelance computer consulting. I create WordPress blogs, help you with Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. Done a number of things for businesses.
Hi, I'm Chris Branson. I'm with Planet Footprint, and we are an energy and environment scorekeeper. By that, I mean we do utility and greenhouse gas information management on a subscription basis, primarily for local governments and school systems now, but also for property managers. I'm just more interested in learning more about social networking.
Mark Reynolds, with Grow Biz Group, and we are business navigators. We help you steer through whatever the bumps and bruises are to get you into the Arbor. And we partner with lots of other groups. So if there's a way to partner, we try to help you figure that out.
My name is Mark Ducker. I just recently moved to the Ann Arbor area. I'm an independent filmmaker, video production specialist, and my company name is Wild Rose Pictures.
I'm Cynthia Furlong Reynolds. I'm a freelance writer and I specialize in corporate histories. I just did the Jiffy Company book this year.
Hi, Mike Nato, Portable Computers here in town. We help save you money on your computers and your printers and your tech support.
Hey everybody, David Cam. I'm an independent marketing consultant. My focus is small and mid-sized technology companies, hardware, software, networking, telecom, that kind of stuff. My company is iBeam Marketing Consulting Services. You can read more about it at ibeamconsulting.com. Thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan Crosby, the Ann Arbor Chamber of Commerce, soon to be the Ann Arbor Ypsilanti Regional Chamber of Commerce. If you are interested in sponsoring the LA2M e-newsletters, please see me after the meeting. 1 month is only $100, so see me after the meeting. Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Joffrey Tausig. I'm the local rep for the America's Business Benefit Association. We're a nonprofit group and we help businesses, individuals, and families save money on some 60-plus services. If you're on COBRA right now or have anything to do with health insurance or want to save money on that expense, come see me after. Thanks.
Hi, Jane Delancey with Delancey Design. We do web design, and before that had 20 years in graphic design experience. So if you're frustrated or bored or tired or with your current website look and or concerned about keeping it up to date, give us a call at delanceydesign.com.
I'm Roger Rail. I video this presentation and learn a lot each week. I'm into anything to do with information infrastructure and social networking. And isn't it amazing all of the things related to social networking that have happened the last week with the Haiti earthquake? I mean, people texting from where they're trapped.
I'm Bill Dieselrod, and I do decision-making consulting.
I'm Keith Williams, I'm a sales executive in strategy, looking to help small and medium-sized companies either on a consulting or a full-time basis.
I'm Benji Ben Baruch. I do advanced quantitative analysis. I turn data into information, and I help create additional analytic capabilities by interfacing with IT operations.
Hi, I'm Lisa Rosenbaum, and I do project management and program management, and I'm the person that helps identify the data that Ben needs to analyze so that it's nice and organized so that we can get information out of it.
I am Charlie Hammerslow. I'm a quantitative marketer. I was one of the earlier members of LA2M. I now split my time between Chicago and Ann Arbor, and I'm actually thinking about starting something like LA2M in the Loop.
There you go.
Cool.
I'm Nicole Burgess. I work for MS&L Digital here in town, and we do online public relations as well as integrated social media awareness campaigns and community management.
I'm Tarun Gahani. I also work at MS&L Digital. I focus on digital, new media, and social media.
Hi, I'm Susan Overlots. I recently moved back to the area. I'm a long-time resident in the distant past. And currently I'm a student and learning more about statistics and SAS programming, etc. And I'm a retailer by trade, having done a lot with inventory management and forecasts.
How do you do? I'm John Wolter. I'm with the U.S. Census. I want to offer to everyone listening to this message a job. I know that there are many here who are working very hard to get a new position. But this certainly is work that can fill in a hole for a couple of months. Anyone listening, all you have to do is dial 1-866-861-2010, type in your zip code, and then simply say, I'd like to be a census worker. We need hundreds of people, and we are in particular interested in people who can speak more than a single language. So let me give you that number again, 866-861-2010.
Hi, I'm Mike Kessley, and my company is Kessley Development, and I have a stack of calendars for those people that still even use calendars that I'm giving away. And what I do is hiring assessments, and there's a new one, skill testing, which has all kinds of IT and computer-related stuff.
Hello, I'm Sally Schmall, and I own Academy Coaching, and I specialize in organizational consulting and individual career coaching for people who want to learn how to be even more successful.
Hi, Eric Rodriguez with Ingenix Digital Marketing. If you need to use the internet to
California, you will up that hurry. You feel surfing. You see it. And he's doing it. That we feel soft. He's not getting just never our city or resident.